Welcome to Support for Stressful Times. I'm Ann Weiser Cornell, and we're here every month to spend a bit of time together, pausing, sensing, sharing. Our fundamental philosophy is that however you are feeling is welcome, and that stressful feelings are welcome. They belong. We don't try to push feelings away. We have a whole process of turning toward feelings. This is the philosophy of inner relationship focusing. Your body is letting you know all the time how you feel, how it feels. And if it's a stressful day, maybe there's stress you can feel in your body. Let's take a moment and just check in on that. Stressful day? Maybe not. Hope not. Be nice if you're having a nice day. Actually, whether you're having a nice day or a stressful day or anything in between, your body is going to be reacting to either one. Either this is great, or too much is going on, or something hard just happened. And it's worth doing. It's a very healing, life forward direction thing to do, to pause and sense, how am I? How am I right now? I'll be doing that all the way through this webinar, and I'll be inviting you to do that too. Maybe you're doing it right now. How am I right now? We started these webinars in March 2020. You remember what was happening then. And even though the global pandemic isn't what it was then, it isn't as scary as it was then, things are still stressful. Hope you're having an easy time right now, but so many things are stressful. The uncertainty of the world we live in, the uncertainty of our own health, the uncertainty of the health of our families. And Anne remembers being here at the start. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Today, my theme is when hard things happen. And I was thinking, okay, I want to talk about when hard things happen. And there was a couple days ago in California, there was a man trapped behind a waterfall. You would think it would be, if you were behind a waterfall, you got behind the waterfall, it would be easy to get out again. But there was something about this water system, how strong the currents were, that once he got there, he couldn't get out. And the story was about him being rescued, and that was a nice, heartwarming story. But I was thinking, what was that like when he didn't know if he was going to be rescued? He didn't even know if anybody knew where he was. So I think one of the things that happens in stressful times is we get into situations where we don't know what's going to be the outcome. We don't know. And not knowing can be stressful. So a couple months ago, I was on the train from Denmark to Germany. I was going to a teacher retreat. It was going to happen that night. It started that night. And I had my train journey all mapped out. It was going to take about 4 hours, and it had about 4 legs, so 3 times I had to change trains. But on one of those 4 train journeys, the train simply stopped and didn't start again. Guy came on the loudspeaker and said, "We have no power. We have no way to get power. This train is finished." And 200 people went pouring out of the doors of the train. into this tiny station that didn't have many other options and the train itself wasn't moving. And I didn't have a phone that worked there. Other people had their phones out and they were looking what else can I do? Had a lot of luggage. So when I remember that time, right, it all turned out okay, but it took hours for the situation to resolve itself. There was a lot of uncertainty. What was going on in me? This is what interests me now, talking to you, is how we are with ourselves when there is stressful uncertainty. Because hard things have happened or hard things might happen. There's extreme weather events more than ever before where people don't know if their house is going to be burned or flooded or something like that. I hope nothing like that happens to you, but I'm guessing something like that has happened to some people here. What do we do in those cases of stressful uncertainty? Well, we do just what I'm recommending we do right now, which is find some sense of grounding. Hopefully one can sit down, be present here and now. Feel your body's support where you're sitting. Imagine, tell yourself, okay, right now we're slowing down. So it's pausing, slowing down. If possible, right? Some emergencies don't allow this to happen. You have to evacuate or get out of there. Here we are, though. At this moment, it's possible to sense your body. Sense your body here and now. And especially this inner area of the body, throat, chest, stomach. Somehow this, like all of your body, is welcome to be felt, right? If you're getting signals from the back of your neck or your shoulders or calling to you, it's your legs, it's all good. But it's likely that emotional meaning will come in this middle area of the body, throat, chest, solar plexus, belly, all the way down. How am I right now? Before I learned to do this process, I never did that, right? Life was more outer oriented. How do they like me? What's going on for them? That was where I put my attention. Learned to do this focusing thing, this inner sensing. And it was completely new to me, and it was really hard to do at first. Like body? What body? As far as I knew, this was me. Whatever's down there is, I don't know. It goes to the doctor. This is when I learned to say, my body is me. I am my body. That was big. All this is me. I'm not just a little mind sitting on top of a physical body. The whole thing is wise, full of intelligence, full of knowing. You can sense here for an inner sense of rightness. Okay, well, I was in the middle of, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. We were pausing to sense our bodies. Let's do that a little more. So you're feeling your body connected with what you're sitting on. Probably you're sitting, but you might be standing or lying down. Most people are sitting. And feel your breathing and coming into the inner area of your body, throat, chest, stomach. And then not assuming you already know. Why would we want our body to communicate with us. And why would it communicate if I go in and I say, hi, body, how are you? Don't tell me, I already know. Let's not know. So this is the state of not knowing that allows a new step to emerge. I'm bringing awareness to. It's just like if you're with a friend. How are you? You don't say, how are you? Don't tell me, I already know. How are you, body? How is it in the throat, chest, stomach, belly? So I can tell as I pause right now, there's a lot of peacefulness in me today. There's a bubbly enjoyment. I'm having a good time. And it's great that I'm pausing to notice that, because now my having a good time is multiplied. I'm having happy, bubbly, peaceful, and I'm aware of it. Even better, it multiplies. But I'm guessing that as you sense your body, all kinds of things are happening. And what I'm inviting you to do is get interested and be curious and stay present. You might have physical conditions that you're aware of. You might be in pain somewhere. And it's a physical pain you recognize, let's say. Then stay with that. Acknowledge it. Sense what it's like. Say to it, yes, I know you're there. You might feel emotional reactions in your body. Anxiety. What's anxiety like right now? You might feel sadness. What would sadness be like right now? You might feel a sense of tension or pressure. Got to get more done kind of feeling. Took just half an hour for this webinar, but then I got to get back to work. And you might be feeling something you don't even have words for, which is great. Sometimes people say to me, I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm feeling something, but I can't describe it. And I say, that's great. What you can't describe is something you're undoubtedly feeling. And we don't have as many words in our language. The English language has a lot of words. We don't have as many words. We don't have nearly as many words in our language as we have feelings. So it's, what does this one feel like right now? And I might need a new word. I might need a new phrase. I might need a new metaphor. Even the happy needs 4 words: bubbly, happy, excited, peaceful. Yeah, yeah. See what some people are saying in the chat. Randy writes, you're letting us know if your happy, bubbly time influences my ability to feel a sense of enjoyment. Oh, good. I hope positively. Catherine writes, I'm feeling frustrated by my physical limits and so scared, and I shut down to protect myself from the overwhelm. Good for you for being aware of that. So shutting down to protect ourselves from overwhelm is such a typical thing, such a familiar human thing to do. And being aware that you're doing it is a big step. It's huge. Because now you can be aware, I'm protecting myself from overwhelm, and there's overwhelm. So we've paused, we've sensed. The next step is to notice, and the next step is to acknowledge. And acknowledging is when I begin to have a relationship with whatever I'm feeling. I can say to it, that's how you are. Catherine can say to her overwhelm, I know you're there. Or she might not feel ready to do that. So then she'd say to the part of her that's protecting her, the shutting down, hello, shutting down. Hello, I know you're there. One of the things I love about this is there's always something we can say hello to. And I don't want it. I don't want to say hello to my overwhelm. It's too much. I'm scared. If I touch it, it'll swallow me up. Okay, let's say hello to the scared. Everything you need to know about that can be found in this. This is so super cool. Allison writes, something in me is very calm and feeling safe at the sound of your voice and receiving your energy. Yay. Alessandrina writes, what about if someone is overwhelmed because they have so much going on and so many unknowns? And they're neurodivergent. Smiley emoji. Well, being neurodivergent gives you a doorway into more ways of being human. And I think maybe many of us are neurodivergent in one way or another. And we can learn from those experiences the wider sense of what it is to be human. So let's ask, what if you're overwhelmed because you have so much going on and so many unknowns? Well, I want to say exactly. Support for stressful times. It's very stressful to have so much going on and so many unknowns. And seems like we live in a world where that happens a lot. It's a lot more than it used to be that way. More uncertainty, more that's got to be done. And the answer is still the same. Pause and sense. No matter how busy you are, no matter how much time, the feeling of I gotta get going, no matter how busy you are, you always have a minute. In fact, I think you always have 5 minutes. Because the restroom, the ladies, right, it's right, and I need to, you can be there for 5 minutes. So you always have 5 minutes. And a lot can happen in that 5 minutes. We're doing it right now. I'm sensing something in me. So this language of something in me, you've heard me talk about that before, and it's very, very facilitative because it's a way to be with something and not push it away. So I'm sensing something in me, feeling overwhelmed because there's so much going on and there's so many unknowns. And I'm pausing just to really get the body feeling of that. And I'm Say to it, yes, I get how hard that is, or or how stressful that is, or how intense that is, or how painful that is. Put in the word that fits. When I grew up in the American Midwest, the right thing to do was to try to not feel bad. Try to not feel bad. One of the ways we were taught to do that would be to talk ourselves out of feeling bad. Other people have it worse. It's not so bad. I can, you know, could talk ourselves out. Don't be angry. They're probably just trying to be. This is what my mother said when I came home and said I was being bullied. Oh, they're probably just trying to be friendly. So, what I'm recommending is the opposite of that. We don't try to talk ourselves out of our feelings. Instead, we say hello to them. We say, hello, I know you're there. Hello, I'm with you now. Georgia says, I feel a tense agitation, and it's not easy to be with. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Because that's very true. Sometimes these things are not easy to be with. And you can do it, including acknowledging that it's not easy. So, right here, when you write this, you're already acknowledging I'm feeling agitation, tension, and I'm feeling it's not easy to be with it. And I am being with all of that. Karen writes, my throat hurts and I'm not sure why. So you could say to the hurt in your throat, the hurting, hello, I know you're there, without trying to change it and without trying to figure it out. One thing I like to say is there's some good reason. We just don't know what it is yet. There's a message. There's a knock on the door. Something is trying to get your attention. It might be through a pain in the throat. It might be through a tension in the shoulders or the chest. Something is knocking on your door. Something is ringing your telephone bell. And we don't we we don't want to put pressure on whatever that is. Like it has to tell me now what it's about. It's shy. If I tell it has to tell me something, it's going to be gone. It might still hurt, but it's gone. And I say, hello, hello. And let me pause now to sense what this hurt feels like. So hurt is the first word. What kind of hurt? Is it a piercing hurt? An ache? As I stay, and to describe it a little more, that means I need to stay with it. And staying with it lets me take time. Daniel says, I sense something doesn't feel happy. And I sense a big thing telling me, not right now, look at this, worry about this instead. So that can happen. You've got something pulling you here, something saying, no, go over here. What do? Well, Daniel writes, I know. Hello to both. That's right. Hello, hello. I know you're both there, and I am here with both of you. Violetta says, a part of me is happy for you and feeling happy, and a part of me is asking me, what? Violetta is asking herself, why don't you feel that way? Well, so you don't feel that way. You don't feel happy and bubbly. How do you feel? And that's interesting because what I'm advocating is that we don't judge our feelings. We don't go inside and find this is a good feeling, this is a bad feeling. I like this one, I don't like this one. I like this one, it can stay. I don't like this one. uh, what's wrong with me that I'm feeling that way? That puts another layer on top of everything. Violetta feels some way that isn't describable as happy. Well, what is that way? Take a little time to sense and describe how you're actually feeling. It's from there that you'll take forward steps in life. Difficult, stressful, painful feelings have a next step. They're going towards something. That next step might be, and might well be, to release, to relax, to open. But we can't demand that of them. This is the paradox. Things open and relax when we don't ask them to. When instead of that, we stay with them just as they are. Oh, that's how you're feeling. Ah, you're feeling tense, feeling tight. Right, right. So I'm just checking the chat again. Yeah, yeah. People, I love how people in the chat are being kind to each other and to me. That's so nice. Yeah. Now, Haja says, not sure what's going on out of sight. I had an image of a mouse eating away in the wall. I invited it out. So sweet. Ah, and here's the anxiety. So there's a process going on. Sometimes there's images, sometimes there's creatures, and then there's something we don't know yet. We are almost done. I can't imagine how 30 minutes flew by. This has been so nice. Thanks everybody for chiming in the chat, or just for reading it, or just for listening. You've all been very supportive of this process. Our main theme was when hard things happen and the power of turning toward what you actually feel without fighting it, without making it wrong. You are able to stand what you actually feel. You are able to stand what you actually feel. It's not going to be too much for you. But if it feels like too much, then we turn toward that and say hello to that. It's been lovely. Yeah, people are thanking me. But I want to take my one more minute that I've got with you now and just say again, these times are stressful. They're more stressful. It's more stressful than ever. And there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot that's unclear, unknown, unsettling. People are different. We're in different circumstances. Hope you're feeling safe and at peace with whatever is going on. We always have the gift of pausing, sensing, and being present to ourselves. And that makes a positive difference. It allows the next forward steps of life to happen, even when things are unclear, even when you're on a train platform in a strange country without a cell phone. The next forward step can happen. Okay, my dears. See you next month. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye.